How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile. This time for set 9 of the One Piece TCG with Blue Doflamingo. Crazy that we got a set 1 leader right in 09, but he is really showing off in the 09 meta along with Purple Luffy, Shanks, a couple other leaders. But this deck particularly gets really good even for us very quickly. So even though we're not going to be in the 09 meta for a while, we get these starter decks coming out soon that give us access to some of these cards that make the deck very good. So this deck list, even though it's for 09, you can use pretty soon. I think at the end of the month in October is when we get these cards, right, for the starter deck. And then a lot of our other stuff is just your typical 7 warlords that you see in 07 with, you know, the Jinbei. We got the Weevil. This is from OP02, you know, this Gecko Moria, right? A lot of these are some old cards, but hope you're all doing well. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to want more deck lists. Gonna go over this very briefly because this is a pretty standard Doflamingo list that we've seen for a while now. Not too much has changed. He's just very good into the 09 meta, I believe. So we got Blue Doflamingo, Don ×2 for attacking. You rest 1 Don. So his leader ability is a total of 3 Don, right? But 2 are attached, so you're swinging for 7. You reveal the top card of your deck. If that is a 7 Warlords of the Sea type character with a cost of 4 or less, then you play it out rested. Really good, because as you can see, pretty much all of our characters are 7 Warlords with 4 cost, and they all have pretty great effects. So let's get into this. We got Edward Weevil on play, just draw a card. No counter, but he is a 4 cost 6k body. So that is a great target to both just rip off of leader ability, because the best part about this leader ability is that it is not taking away from our hand size, right? So you're filling your board very quickly while also keeping your hand very big. And we are blue, so we get access to ways to get counter back from our trash, right? Next, we got the vanilla 4/6 Gecko Moria. This is just another decent card to rip off of leader ability, right? 4/6 body. We got 3 pudding just to disrupt our opponent's hand size. On play, your opponent returns all their cards from their hand to their deck and then shuffles and draws 5 cards. You know, if they are somebody building up a big hand size, this is really, really good to play against them. Next, we've got the 2k counter crocodile, 4 cost 5k power. On play for resting 1 Don. You may return one of your cost 2 or lower characters to your hand, the owner's hand, so you could choose one of your opponents, but this is primarily a way that we can get back our 1 cost characters. As you see, we have a 1 cost searcher, and then Buggy, which is a 2 cost or a 1 cost 2k counter card, right? So we can get back some counter to our hand. Next, we've got probably the best card you're going to want to see in your hand, right? The Jinbei, the 4/5 1k counter. On play 1 cost 4 or lower 7 Warlords of the Sea character from your hand as active, right? So this is a great card to hit off of leader ability because it allows us to play another card, right? So one of the better combos is, you know, the Weevil to draw us another card and then you get a 6k body out, or the Gecko Moria. So we're playing 2 bodies and then getting something back from trash, right? Then we've got our 7 Warlords of the Sea Searcher for 1 cost, 1k counter, 2k power. On play, look at the top 5 cards for your deck and reveal 1 7 Warlords of the Sea type and add it to your hand. This is really good because we run right now just the Buggy, right? And a couple of other cards, but primarily the Buggy lets us stack our deck to kind of know what we're going to get with our lead ability, right? But we can do this to kind of find pieces that we need because we have this teach we'll get into that allows us to specifically set what we want to use our lead ability for. So if you're looking for a specific card like the Jinbei, we can find that with that. And then we've got the 1 Boa Hancock, the 6 cost 8k power. On play, one of your opponent's characters other than Monkey D. Luffy don't get to attack their next turn, and then bottom deck a 1 cost character. Really great, really great. She is 6 cost, so can't hit with leader ability. However, that effect is just really good. It's one of our ways that we can kind of deal with our opponent's top end. If they play out a really big body, then it kind of negates that, really, unless it's Monkey D. Luffy, of course. Next, we got Gecko Moria, 4 copies. This is just the 4/5 1k counter. On play, add 1 7 Warlords of the Sea characters other or Thriller Bark other than Gecko Moria from your trash to your hand that has a cost of 4 or less. So, like I said, we have some ways that we can get stuff back from our trash. This is it. So if you counter out, you can get that counter back, which is really good. And then we got a 2k counter, our Draco Mihawk. This is also really good because he's 4/5. 2k counter, and then Don times 1, draw 2, and then trash 2. So this is a way that if we need to, again, look for some of our other pieces, we can hopefully find them. This law is quickly becoming one of my favorite from the starter deck. I mean, obviously all the starter deck cards are really good for this deck, but this law is 4/5, 1k counter. On play, may return one of your characters to its owner's hand. And then if your leader has 7 Warlords of the Sea type, return one cost 4 or lower character to the owner's hand. So it specifies to the owner's hand for that second effect. So we can bounce 2 of our cards back to our hand. Why would you do that? It's because we have things like the Buggy and the Sengoku. We can bounce both of these to our hand, right? Say if we have a Buggy and a Sengoku on our board, we bounce those back to our hand. Even if we're not going to play those cards out, we then get 3k counter back to our hand, which is really good. Next, we've got the Boa Hancock blocker from the starter deck. 4/6 and then blocker on play. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, place them in any order. So this is another way that we can kind of stack and make sure we hit something good with our leader building, and then give 1 Rested Dawn to a 7 Warlords of the Sea character or leader. So again, one way that we can be more Dawn efficient to give Dawn to our leader for leader ability. But the most effective way is this Marshall D. Teach. He is 2 Dawn, activate main once per turn, place 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck, and then attach 2 Rested Dawn to your leader or character, right? Like, it's kind of crazy because you just can guarantee whatever you need to hit the board with your lead ability. However, its downside is that it doesn't give us the benefit of just playing the card for free, right? It still takes away from our hand size to do this. However, if we have a Jinbei in hand and, for example, a Weevil in hand, and we want to get these out pretty early, as long as we're on 3 Dawn, right? You can use 2 to play this, leave the last one standing, active, and then this gives you back those 2 Rested Dawn to attach to leader. You can put Jinbei to the top of your deck, play him out with leader ability, and then play Weevil out from your hand. It's really great to be really aggressive. Next, getting into our events, we've got 2 Red Rock for 6 Dawn, bottom one of your opponent's characters. You know, there are still maybe some 8-cost kid that we want to get rid of, some bigger bodies. Also, if you just need a way to get some Rested Dawn to, if you're going to use this guy's ability, right? It's a way to get rid of a big character, right? Then we got 1 Gravity Blade. This just main for 7 Dawn, place 2 cost 6 or lower characters to the bottom of their owner's deck. Really great, but again, this deck is super consistent, super aggressive with how many 4 costs we're playing, right? We can almost not even need the Buggy or a Boa to see what our next card is going to be. And like 90% of the time we'll hit a card, right? But our final event is probably one of the best. Perfume Fever for 2 Dawn. Give up to one of your 7 Warlords of the Sea leader or character cards, gains 2k power, right? So 2 Dawn for 2k. So you're just kind of going even there. But during this turn, your opponent cannot activate blockers when the selected card attacks, right? So again, we're going very aggressive, so our opponent might get down to 0 life. If they put up blockers, now we can just swing in for game anyway. It's really great, but that is the deck list. Let's get into some games, see how fun this deck is. Of course, let me know down in the comments though what you would do differently, anything you would change, ratios. A lot of the lists are pretty similar, minus like a few tech options, maybe a couple of ratios with some of the cards. I know I tried a list before that didn't really use Red Rock, but just even more 4 costs. It's all kind of up in the air. I just think the deck is really fun, so let's get into some games. All right, we got Lucci. We do get to go first. We kind of want a mulligan. Okay, we get a Buggy. That's great. Yeah, actually, that's pretty good. We'll draw into our Gravity Blade for our next turn, which can help us bottom deck some of their blockers if they go out pretty fast. And then we'll play Mihawk the following turn. And then, of course, this Perfume Fever is actually really good against Mihawk because he'll be playing a lot of blockers. So he used his Tempest Kick just to draw a card, meaning he probably doesn't have the best hand. So we'll go 7 life, he takes, and then the better part. Okay, so he has 4 Dawn. He could KO this still, however, man, I don't really want to give up the Gecko Moria. I really don't. I really don't. I think I'm just going to let it go. Kind of sucks that we don't have too much counter in hand right now, but plays the Laboon. Okay, yeah, I would have been safe to save him, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, we don't have enough Don to split with our character Buggy, so we're just going to go 9 at life, leave 1 Don up for our leader ability, and we hit another Mihawk. That's what I'm saying. This deck has just so many cards with the starter deck that you'll probably hit most of the time. But also, the better part about these coming out rested, yes, it does leave them up for attack. However, Lucci's going to KO stuff anyway, right? And kind of swinging us. I kind of want to take here. I'm going to putting him probably next turn. He's at 7 cards. I might hit him first, then let's see what he gets. Khalifa. I know he doesn't have the best hand. I'm going to 2K counter here. Okay. He doesn't have the best, greatest, amazing hand, I think. So we're going to Weevil. Cool. Because... And then I think I'm going to go... Right, because this gives -4. Kind of really need to kill it. That's unfortunate. But we'll get that next turn so we can bot our freeze his Brook. Get 2 cards out of his hand. Because now he can just kind of KO stuff for free by resting the Laboon and then swinging with Brook. I guess he wants to swing with Laboon. You can still, you know, could still do that, right? His hand is kind of lower now, so I'm going to counter outputting. If he hadn't played these 3 cards, right, then him being at 8 cards would be pretty decent, but we're going to 2K. Can't take too many hits here. We don't have that great of a board. Yeah, we'll take the 7 and then just counter out. He doesn't. Okay, he doesn't want us to kill the Laboon. Unfortunately, we have a few dilemmas here. I can play out. So I can get a 2K counter back no matter what I do this turn. Basically, we're going to make it so you can't attack. Bottom deck your Suro so you can't get that back if you were going to. I could just blindly rip and try and... I'm assuming 2 there. Of course, that dies. Boom. But I'm going to, boom, put you to the top. Give you 2 rested. Swing 7 at life. Play. Deploy. I'm going to bounce you. And then I think I'm going to bounce you. Because I don't want him to just be able to turn that sideways to give... That's rough. Okay, well, that's not the worst, right? I don't want him to just be able to use that Laboon to activate main to give... Right. I'll give a 2K. He might still be able to just kill them both. But, actually, no, that's pretty good. We will get rid of the Gravity Blade. So, Kaido on play. Well, not on play. Activate main if it's the same turn he's played. Basically, you can trash a 7 or less, right? And then I have to trash something from my hand, but he has to trash something from his hand, too. I'm probably going to Red Rock that guy. Boom. Then I can go 6 and then 7 at life. So we're in a pretty decent spot. We get a 2K out of his hand. We get to take back a 2K Mihawk with that Gecko that we hit off the leader building. And now he's at 1 life. That's so rough. But hey, his hand size is very low. We will hopefully get him to 1 life next turn. Or 0 life. Unless he plays a blocker. Okay, Jinbei's pretty good. Jeez Louise. Okay, no. We can maybe win, right? Let's see. So I need 4 Dawn. Because I'm going to probably play Jinbei into Gecko to get me a 2K back. And then that gives me 5. Right? Let's see. Because I need 4 Dawn to play them out, and then 1 Dawn for leader ability. So let's go here. Boom. Card. That's even better. Not that we'll probably need it, but that means I can go 11. That gets him down to 0 life. We'll play out. Grab a 2K. Boom. So let's look at our hand. We've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 8k encounter and 1 life. If he has to split between a Brook and a Lucci, I don't think he can kill us. Okay, so that is 5, so he can go 10. I can go 7, 9, 11. We got this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he must have just been bricked from the start because he really didn't have that great of a play. All right, boom. That, yeah. Oh, yeah, GG. I had to double check to look up how much counter we had, but we had the Perfume Fever anyway if he had a blocker. But yeah, he did not have the greatest hand. Like, he milled the Gecko there too. Like, I don't know. Both of his jacks were in the trash. Yeah, just seeing that he used the Tempest Kick off the first turn to draw a card, like, that's not a great sign. But GG. All right, we got Smoker. He also got some buffs from the starter deck. We have a pretty good starting hand. Now, I realize I yap a lot in these. Oh, here's a perfect combo in these videos, but I'm trying to make them pretty accessible for people that are newer to the game to follow what I'm saying. So I'm trying to overanalyze or like over-explain what I'm doing. So playing out the buggy, we'll put Weevil to the top. So we'll draw that for our next turn. And then this will be the top of our deck for when we go to use our leader ability. So that way, Jinbei will be the one we leader ability, and then I can play out Weevil for free, getting another just draw card, right? It's pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so he used Sengoku's effect, which you can trash 2 Black Navy cards from your hand, and then if your leader has the Navy type, you draw 3. So it's kind of like a cycle, but you have to trash first, so you don't know what you're gonna, you know, draw into. It might be worse, right? But if he's using that early enough, he might just be looking for something to do the following turns, you know? Probably fishing for some Gecko Morias, right? Okay, so yeah, he's getting rid of his blockers and just a lot, but we're gonna deploy, play out Weevil. We get to draw. Nice. We could have also played out Boa, which would have stacked our deck a little bit, but I might need Boa for a later turn because she gives us that rested Dawn to leader. So it means not next turn because we'll be at 5 Dawn, right? But on 7 Dawn, it makes it a little bit easier to be Dawn efficient. I think it's really only best used if you have to go second. Because if you are at 6 Dawn, you can play Boa out, give that rested Dawn to leader, and then you'll have 2 Dawn left over. You know, then you can give 1 more to leader and then 1 more so you can use leader ability, right? But, do I kind of want to putting him? Kinda. So if I keep this guy, I'll just counter 1. Yeah, it's fine. I could get a 2k counter back to my hand. However, I don't know if he's going to kill that this turn. So like he might play a, no, he's just going to swing big into it. Okay. We're going to, yeah. So that means he probably has his top end in his hand, right? He's at 8 cards. I think I'm going to hit him with the pudding. Boom. And then we're going to go 5 at life. We'll go 6 at life and 6 at life. So we don't know what we gave him. He might have gotten better stuff, but who knows? Who knows? Okay, he got a 2k counter at least, but given the fact that he had 4 Dawn and didn't play out anything, right? Means that he probably had higher cost characters in hand. So doing that might have disrupted his later game plays, which is really when black decks especially kind of thrive, right? When they get to 8 to 10 Dawn, they can really combo out stuff with Gecko Moria. This is the new Tashigi from the starter deck, right? Really good, really good. Activate main if it's the first time you play, you know. Yeah, place 1 of your opponent's cost 0 characters into this trash. We'll let that go because I can't save him. But I can get him back. Okay. How do I best do this turn? I can leader ability and just play out Jinbei into Gecko Moria. I think that's my probably best bet. We don't hit anything, but we'll get a red rock next turn. Is what it is. We're getting him down lower in life, so we'll play out to to get 2k back, or do I want the Jinbei? I don't really need counter too much this turn. Yeah, I don't need the 2k as much because I'm still at 5 life. That is the beauty of this deck. Spamming out characters means that your opponent is going to be more focused on your board than your life, obviously. So getting the Jinbei back just means that I can keep flooding the board. All my characters are active, right? So he has to KO by effect, which, you know, he's at 8 Don, so he could probably get rid of at least 1, maybe 2, depending. But no, actually, no. It would be pretty resource intensive to KO 2 things right now, right? Because you can't just play out a Gecko Moria and kill them both. Okay, yeah, he's just blockering up. It's fair. That's fair. We'll just take the 6 and the 5, and we might counter out the 5 or one of them, but gives a Suru, but really can't do anything with that. Doesn't swing. Did you mean to? Okay, let's see. So I need 4 Don because I can play Jinbei into Boa, but that gets me 1 Don back, right? So that means I have 5 Don technically. Well, no, 4 Don because I need to keep 1 active. 4 Don. Let's poke 6. That's so hard to think because he can KO stuff from his life. So let's just try and get some cards out. Okay. He's countering out with 1Ks. So that means he probably doesn't have a 2K left in hand. Man, honestly, we couldn't even go for game at this point. We have 2 swings and then a pudding, which is kind of a swing, you know? We could bully him, but we could bully him. We do have a red rock too. I could just red rock his Gecko. But no, we'll just be smart. We'll play out our blocker, trashing you, start placing on top. None of these are really good. None of these are really great. We can hit the teach, right? But I might just put him to the bottom and just kind of YOLO it. Like just, you know, I don't know. All right. So that's 1, 3, and then I can go 7 again. So we'll go 7 with Gecko at life, and then we'll go 7 with Bleeder, and just hope we hit something better, you know? All right. Yep. All right. Yep. That was better. That was better. All right. So we'll pass. He's at 1 life. We have a full board now and a blocker. We're still at 5 life. Pretty awkward position to be in, right? Because even if you block her up, right? If you put out 2 blockers, that's pretty much your whole turn. And you can't really kill too much stuff. And also just by the fact that, like, even if you clear most of my board and put out like a blocker, I still have 5 life, right? Counter out 1 just to try and save as much as we can, right? I think this turn we just try and save as many of our characters as we can. So maybe I shouldn't have used the 2k there. Obviously probably should have just 1k, but I kind of, part of me just always never wants to counter out with the Gecko Moria because he's the one character that you can't get back with Gecko Moria, right? But at this point we're probably just going to go for game our following turn. Depending on how many people we can get back. He plays out the Tashigi, so become my blocker. Of course, but now let's see. If he plays out another Tashigi, kills my standing Jinbei. Swing. I still have 2 cards to split to go for game, and he only has 4 in hand and 1 life, right? So either we win the next turn or probably win the next turn. So no other Tashigi. But we might keep 2 characters, which would be even better. He does 4 Don for a blocker. Yeah. Okay. Rebecca gets back at 2k. Do I just red rock his blocker? Is that more Don efficient than just swinging for... Because I need now all 3 hits to kind of kill. I know he has the 2K, and then the other 3 cards are whatever. We don't know. But also red rocking the blocker does help because then you can't just get it back with the next turn with a Gecko Moria. So I'm gonna do it. Boom. And then I think we swing 6, 6, 7. Or we could have gone 5, 7, 7. But I think 6, 6, 7 is maybe a bit better because then it requires him to have an additional 2K counter in addition to the one that we saw him get, right? So we know he had that one. But now if we swing 6 here, boom, requires another 2K counter he doesn't have. Or maybe he has, but either way, now he's still in a very bad position because if he counters out here, yeah, GG. If he countered out there, then it's like that the Perfume Fever as the top deck is kind of crazy, right? But even if you counter out there, clear my board the next turn and put out like a blocker, I still have 5 life, right? We run blue events that can trigger to bottom deck something, so yeah, GG. Kaido, purple Kaido. We get to take first again. That's great. Red Rock might help us if we need to get rid of a Kaido Linolin, right? Really, I'll just take the Gecko, and then we'll probably just swing in without knowing, unless we top deck something. That's pretty good. Cool. So I'm assuming that as soon as he gets to, that's even better. All right. We will. We don't get the most of. Actually, here's the thing, right? We can use this to bounce you, and then in this scenario, I kind of do want to bounce my Jinbei, right? It's kind of crazy. Why would I get rid of the card that I can swing with next turn? It's to kind of protect him, right? He's going up to 4 Don, and he might just swing 9 into Jinbei, and I kind of don't want to, right? You know, maybe I should, in this matchup, maybe we should have just left it, right? But we'll take, because he's just going to trash our life anyway with the leader ability, right? We will look for another Jinbei. That's crazy. That is kind of crazy. I don't know if we need 3 Jinbeis. I'm tempted to play a buggy. That is good that I played the buggy. Okay. So we'll swing 5. Boom. And then swing 7. Get out that Croc. We don't get to use his ability, but he's just another body to swing with, right? Now he's down to 3 life. Cool. He's at 7, so he could. We are at 5, right? So I don't think he wants to use leader ability too much, right? Right now, at least. At this point, maybe if he plays out that Black Maria, maybe we bottom deck her to kind of throw off his Don, right? If he chooses to do that. The best part about this card here is that we only play really 5k bodies, so this doesn't get to boost itself too much. We will 1k with our Sengoku. We will use the Mihawk because we can get Mihawk back with these guys. 7 Don. Plays out Luffy. Right, I kind of forgot. You can play out the Luffy and play out the blocker. Bonus turn if your board has 10 Don, this character. Power plus 1000. Ooh, 7k, but he is not. He is not. We will swing. Cool. Here's the thing. I could forego leader ability here to just red rock his guy. Because I can't play out Boa, right? Can't play out Boa. And then that still gives me 5/5/6 to swing at him. Let's poke 5. If he blocks, let's see. Right. 5. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Is the Luffy that scary? He's an AK body. Because I could leader ability and also Gecko. Jinbei and Gecko, right? I think that might be the better option. Just completely fill my board. That's unfortunate, but it's good that we get that. It's good that we know we're getting that. Because he's down to 2 life. Play play out, get back our 2K. Cool. So now we have a pretty full board. We're still at 4 life. He can start trashing ours with leader ability, but he doesn't have an Onigashima out. He might have Black Maria, stuff to kind of ramp him back up. And we are at 7 Dawn. All 2K there. Okay. I'll let that go because that would be my whole hand, right? 7 Dawn for another Luffy. King. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we'll let that go. He knows that we have that though now. He knows that we have that. I think what I will do this turn is maybe I should have done the same thing. Because I can play Boa to freeze him, right? But we can be more aggressive with our board and our Dawn because we have 9 now, right? So we would need 5 Dawn to use Jinbei into a Gecko Moria to get back another 2K, and then 1 for our lead ability. So that gives us 4 Dawn to work with, so I can swing 7 and 7 at life, which is way better. Kind of bully more cards out of his hand or force him to block. Okay, that's better. That's good still. Go here, boom, deploy. We can bounce. Do I want to? I don't know. I don't think so. We can't really bounce anything of his. Do I need the counter? Or do I want to give him more stuff to swing at? I think I'll just give him more stuff to swing at. So no other target. 7 at life. We get him down to 1. We play out our Jinbei into our Gecko Moria to get back. We don't have anything to bounce back from our hands, so we'll just take a 2K Mihawk. So now he is at 9 Dawn. No 10 Kaido, which is good, which would just clear our board. Gotta kind of play around that. But luckily we do have the red rock if he plays it, right? But yeah, he's at 9 Dawn, so doesn't have it. We will we only have 2Ks, so 2K. 2K. Try and save just as many characters as we can, right? We'll let that go. Because we just have to hit 1 life, and then we can go unblockable. Oh, he heals with 9 Mom. Honestly, I wonder why he hasn't played. Okay, he puts my Gecko to bottom life. Bottom deck it. I think just freezing her is better because then we have that body, right? So that leaves us 6. That's 3, so 9. All right, so I can swing 5, swix 6. Oh, so 5, 5, 6. No, hold on. Oop, almost wrong guy. I could even split and kill him. I could just split and kill him. 1, 2, 3. Let's go 9. Maybe he took a 5 at life. Yeah, I guess he realized that. I guess he realized that. Yeah, as soon as I stacked up more Dawn. Yeah. GG. So kind of the moment where you kind of sit there and like, actually, I have all my Dawn left and he's got pretty low hand size. We can just go for game. GG. I was expecting, yeah, to play out other... I guess he was using a different build. I'm interested to see, you know, Purple Kaido with the Luffy from the starter deck. But there is the deck list for Blue Doflamingo. Again, this is a set 9 because we have to play in the set 9 on the sim to use this kind of starter deck stuff. But like I said, this entire deck you can play starting in like a couple of weeks once the Blue Doflamingo and all the other starter decks come out for us at the end of October, I believe it is. So yeah, very fun, very aggressive, and it's kind of crazy to see him back in the meta, right? It's just a very fun, consistent deck. There's not too much really to think about besides setting up your top of deck, right? And just playing out bodies, just spamming the board. So if that's something you like to do, definitely check it out. Again, I hope that my videos can kind of be a more example for like people that might be newer to the game to get an idea of decks that they want to check out, right? Because I know One Piece can still be a pretty expensive game to get into. So before you commit a lot of money to the deck, to play in real life. Obviously, you probably want to play it on the sim, and kind of getting a vibe and a feel for this stuff is what I aim to do here, right? So anything you want to see done differently, anything I could explain more in detail, let me know in the comments. Of course, let me know what you would do differently in the deck. If you run anything differently, you know, I think before I was running either maybe no pudding or just like maybe 2. I didn't run the 6 cost, ran less red rock, more gravity blade. But yeah, let me know anything you do differently. Leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.